Nick Holden, who's the CEO of Contour3D, to see where they are with all of this. I spoke with him earlier today.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me.
I hope I've given a reasonable explanation. It's a massive, it's a massive crane-like
Yeah,
thing, which is
sure.
effectively your printer, which prints a building within a few days.
Yeah, it certainly does. Look, and we've been working super hard in the last 12 months, on the technology. We've now got a staff of probably 15 very highly talented people at Contour 3D. And what we are doing is, you mentioned our printer. We are manufacturing our own printers. We've got software engineers, and we've also got two material scientists now. So we're really dragging the recycled component of the build up. Because you're right. I mean, housing crisis is on the news every single day. And sort of an offshoot to that is that people can't even afford to rent nowadays. It's not even afford to buy a house. You know, the whole situation with the housing sector is driving up those costs of ownership or rental. So it's a real problem.
Is there a way for our listeners, because obviously this was a TV story, you could show
Yes,
us, but
yes,
the printer's
yes.
there, you put the materials in there, and this prefab wall is gradually built by this printer, and grows, and you not just you do the floor, you do the walls, you do the roof. Is that correct?
Yeah, we do have models that do the floor, the walls, and the roof, and they're more of in a kit form that we print in the factory for sort of remote housing and Indigenous housing. Where we're doing a large size house on a normal block of land, call it, we do put the slab down traditionally first, and we do set the printer up, which is for your listeners to visualize that. Most people understand what a typical plastic 3D printer looks like. So it is essentially a plastic 3D printer, but the size of a house. And it deposits the materials, which is our own special blend of sort of 40% recycled concrete. And it deposits them layer by layer by layer. It's moving at around about 115 centimeters a second. And it's just sort of like the tortoise and the hare. It builds the external walls as well as the internal walls.
So you've got people on site, they're sitting there, they set it all up, and then what, push a
Yep.
button? Is that how it works?
Yeah, exactly. Press the green button, and that's what we've been working so hard to refine to get this process as a turnkey operation. So it is very, very simple for an on-site team. It takes us at the moment around about sort of 4 hours to set the printer up on site. We then go through a testing phase, and we digitally scan the site. We do some dry testing, I suppose, and then we load the material into the mixer and the pump. When we do essentially press the green button. And look, the best thing that anyone can be doing on site, once we press that green button, is nothing, because that is nirvana. It just goes through the process. It's very methodical to watch concrete dry, to be honest.
So there was a 3D printed house, I think, constructed in Melbourne last year, was it? Took just about 3 days, or the year before, is that right?
Yeah, we did that for the block, actually, in 2022. That was 70 square metres and 70 square metres under roof, 3 metres high, and we completed that in 28 hours of actual printing time. And that was, to be honest, that was the first one outdoors, printed in situ outdoors in Australia. So that was very, very challenging. It was a one-off. Well, it wasn't a one-off. It was the first one at the time. So to achieve that then, it was excellent. We've since printed another smaller dwelling in Gymea, New South Wales, which was a 50 square metre, one-bedroom standalone granny flat, I suppose, which is a certified building. And that was completed in 14 hours of print time. So, look, we're really working hard. And obviously the technology was in its infancy. As a company, Contour 3D, we've chosen not to take on a lot of revenue at the moment. We're taking on projects that could further the development, further the speed. And we've done that because we want to scale the machinery. We want to scale the technology to really make a difference. I'm not happy to be, a closet builder in the Shire.
No, but you're doing it. So you're working out what can and can't be done, and you're, I guess, trying to get the technology right. But with the urgent need for as many houses as possible, as many homes as possible,
Yep.
how quickly can we get this happening on scale? Because we desperately need a lot more homes, don't we?
Oh, absolutely correct. So, look, we've been putting in 100-hour weeks genuinely over the last 6 months, and we're just about at the point where we're ready to start selling our technology into the marketplace. So, as a company, we will still print. We have to continue our R&D and learnings, ongoing development. But look, the goal is if we can produce a printer a month, a printer a week, and then a printer a day within the next sort of 6 months, which is very, very feasible for us, we can really start to make a difference in that housing market. Because look, unless we have a network of printers that can produce 10,000 houses a year, and each house in an affordable model, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single story, we can turn them around in around about 4 weeks' time per house.
4 weeks, okay. Because under normal circumstances, people might have been hearing this and thinking, well, this is going to replace a lot of jobs. But right now, there just aren't the people to do this. So there's a desperate shortage of labour to get what's done for many, many years to come. So if you can get this to scale, you can say one of your printers might operate in a medium-sized town. I know Dubbo's an example, and it might start doing a lot of work around a town like Dubbo.
Oh, absolutely. And Dubbo is screaming out for it. I'm talking to the mayor once a month in Dubbo, and looks like we've got some Indigenous projects up in that direction. But if I can give you an example, and that is a common question, are we taking jobs away? But we're not. We're producing our own machinery, software, and materials. We are actually creating a whole new industry of automated construction. But I'll give you an example. There was a recent US study, and this is US-based, but we're seeing the same thing here, that every 4 trades are on the tool tradesmen that are leaving, or tradespeople that are leaving the trade through retirement or they've had enough. Only one of them is being replaced. So this is not a problem. That is a statistic which cannot be reversed.
Yeah.
How, if you're losing 3 out of 4 tradesmen, can the supply increase under the traditional methods? Can the costs not be driven up? It's a no-win situation.
But once you've built the walls, the roof, the interior on that slab, you've then got to have tiling, plumbing, all the other stuff, the electricals, all of that. So there's still plenty to be done, isn't there?
Oh, there certainly is, and it's pretty cool. In an affordable housing model, we are looking to standardise a lot of the kitchen layouts, a lot of the bathrooms, a lot of the laundries and electrical, wiring looms to make that really efficient and really fast. So we still do need those trades for that. And we need to turn them around a lot quicker. That's the only way we can do that, is to go through that model of standardization for the internals. But being a 3D printed house, the printer doesn't care, so we can make all the facades on these houses look different. You know what I mean? So we're not building a matchbox town. So you're getting affordable living, with dignity, I suppose.
Yeah, and the other thing would be, just as a question, because you're making the printers, so would you then sell these printers to people who would then use them and use your technology, or would you license it out? What's your idea of how this will work?
Yeah, look, we've looked at both options, licensing, renting and purchasing. There's a hell of a lot of interest. We've got more interest than we can handle at the moment to purchase printers, which is probably the most desirable. But why we've been working so hard and holding it back for a few months is we're providing a turnkey solution, from the batching of the materials to the printer to the software to remote support via cameras that are operating on, the cellular network, and training. So, we really want to train the people to get scale. Look, as an example, if I can put 250 printers into the marketplace, 250 printers will support 10,000 houses per year. So look, that's scalable.
Yeah.
And, we can just replicate that and really make a difference and drive costs down.
And just in terms of houses, because a lot of the construction, certainly in Sydney and southeast Queensland, is now talking about medium to high density, multi-story. Is that how big can you be?
Yeah, look, it wouldn't be the same model printer, but it is absolutely something that we're currently working on. We're working on printers that can climb a building, you know what I mean? So
really?
And we can get and that is really sort of cool stuff. And what's on the radar, first of all, is it's just a typical sort of 9 to 12 floor building, but that is really scalable, really fast, and that is when we can make that, that medium density living work as well. So honestly, there is so much to do. If I could get another 20, 30 workers, I think we could certainly support them.
Okay, and your website, if people want to find out more information, I'm assuming you've got a website, Contour3D, is that where we find all the information?
It certainly is contour3d.com.au, or you can visit our Instagram page where there's a lot of videos and updates on there at Contour3D Printing.